young America is going to see again. Each summer, from yacht club bases such as this one at Larchmont, New York, the teenage tars invade Long Island Sound. They'll skipper anything from a rowboat with a bedsheet rig to a smacking new jib and mainsail sloop. And if there's a fresh breeze and a couple of boats to race, so much the better. There are 175 yacht clubs on the Sound, and the racing competition is the bitterest in the world. On any weekend day, you'll see this: boats jockeying for a position at the starting line. And as the preparatory signal goes up on the committee boat, the activity becomes more intense. In sailing, a good start is often half the race. Every skipper does his best to swindle the other fellow. Legitimately, of course. The starting gun signals the beginning of the Lightning class race. These fast, trim little boats, 19 feet in length, are one of many types which race on the Sound. By mid-afternoon, competition is going in many classes. Here's an Indian Harbor Arrow from Greenwich, Connecticut. These are Comets and Snipes, two of the most popular types. The Rhodes and the Meteor. And boats of the handicap class. Also among the racers are the Stars, which cost $2,200 and now number in the thousands. There are also some big fellows of the international class. At one time, sailing was considered a rich man's sport. A Vanderbilt or an Adams at the helm and a couple of millionaires at the sheets. Today, highly expensive craft are in the minority. Of 500,000 sailboats owned by Americans, 2/3 are 20 feet or less in length and moderately priced. The youngsters have gone into the sport and cut it down to size. Of course, these small fry make mistakes. Here's sail trouble, and here water in the cellar. This is called jibing, the hard way. No, they aren't born sailors, but if they're willing to learn, it's easy on the Sound. In Connecticut, the Pequot Yacht Club, with 135 juniors, carries on an extensive training program. Before the young mariners ever get near a boat, they must be able to swim 100 yards. Then they learn racing tactics from an experienced instructor, Peter Double. Now, any sailor worth his or her salt must be adept at knot tying. Joyce Willard teaches the boots everything from a timber hitch to a fisherman's bend. And before long, these youngsters can do more tricks with a rope than an Indian magician. One of the most valuable knots to know is the bowline, and the class gets that out of the way in a hurry. Chart reading is another priority business, and instructor Gene Willard makes certain that these young Vikings don't wind up with their boats on the beach. Practical seamanship is next. The students are taught how to bend sail, to hoist and lower canvas. They find out how sheet and halyard blocks are rolled, and how the sailing gear is handled. These juniors must learn how to take care of small boats, as well as how to sail them. Once the center board is set and the jib secured, the boat is ready to go places. And soon the youngsters are racing, competing in regattas all over the Sound that culminate in the big 9-day race week at Larchmont. And now Now the Atlantic-class yachts, 30 feet long with 378 square feet of sail, are ready to race. A49 is the Pequot entry, and Captain Pat Hoyt's her CO. Here's the skipper herself, Miss Pat Hoyt. They're off to a good start, and now the carefully calculated maneuvers for position begin. Atlantic-class boats from all over the Sound are entered, and Captain Pat and her ship's company of Pequot Juniors know they have a sea battle on their hands. It's the first leg of the triangular course, with the boats heading for the windward mark. And Pequot's tactical training is paying off. Pat has maneuvered A49 to windward, blanketing the other craft, cutting off their wind. If she can maintain her position, she'll have a fine chance to stay in front. Captain Hoyt gives orders to break out the spinnaker as 49 approaches the windward mark. All hands must handle the sails smartly, executing the command at the precise moment when they come about to tackle the second leg. Spinnaker flying, A49 holds her lead as the boats plow ahead on the second leg. The smart sloops with their bellying sails skim over the water, their crews tense, hoping desperately for a little more breeze. The stately procession, 49 still ahead, reaches the end of the second leg. They jibe around the leeward mark and point their pretty noses toward the finish. Captain Pat and her crew are winging home, running before the wind, tenaciously holding the margin that spells victory. They're rugged kids, these Sound sailors J.G., tanned by the sun and wind with a love of flying spray and the salt taste of it. They represent one of the fastest-growing sports fraternities in America. The winner, the crew of A49. They're champions of the Teenage Tars.